Carl and Damon here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life. gbhblofficial for short, and it's They Made What into a Movie. Look, we've been avoiding this one. I never wanted to do this. We knew we'd eventually have to do this one, but the reason why it's taken 17 episodes, considering it's probably one of the most iconic video game to movie adaptions, is simply because I was dreading it. This is a movie that, if you're a certain age, you've seen. If you're of a certain age, you might even have a soft spot for, but we all know it. It's shit. And it's shit for a load of reasons. It's shitter having rewatched and done notes, because what happens when I'm doing notes is I have to watch these movies in a way that I've never watched them before, where I'm having to stop constantly. And because of that, I end up noticing things that I've glossed over previously. And I noticed things in this that I'd never noticed before that actually made me fucking mad. Well, I'm like, I've seen this movie countless times. Now, there's an irony to liking this movie these days. It's a so bad it's good movie. I hate that term. I hate the term it's so bad it's good, because people throw that and use that at just about every shit movie going, when the movie's just shit. And it's like, let's not support shit movies. However, I think it can apply here, because I think there's so much bad in this that it easily outweighs the good. But the good can often be entertaining as fuck. And even some of the bad moments, like, tell me you aren't sitting there laughing your nuts off every time all-American guile, all-American, white-bread, American, blonde hair speaks as Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard. And you're just like, oh my God. I get why you cast him, because Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's a legend, he's a dude, and he was hot shit at his time. Could you have got a casting choice more wrong, though?
Yes.
Like, oh my fucking God. You might as well have cast Arnold Schwarzenegger if you needed a muscle-bound guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, seriously. But he's just one of a countless terrible casting choices. Some of them are just outright baffling.
Do you think Raul Julia and Bison was a good cast?
No.
Oh, I thought he was quite well, actually.
No, he doesn't. He does a great job in the role, but again, he's not a fucking good like cast. Bison was a thick, tough looking son of a bitch. Bear in mind, it's a game. Raul Julia, now I know we will touch upon this. He was ill. He was suffering from stomach cancer, I believe, or colon cancer. Was ill during this film. It would be his final film. The film is actually dedicated to his memory. So I get that. But that doesn't change the fact when I'm watching it, he's gone, he's thin. Does he scream power to you? Does he scream power?
No.
Unless his light up fucking shoes count as power. Well, get to those.
Well, yeah. You should have took Zangief's device and changed the channel.
Let's. There's so much to unpack in this movie, so we will get into it. But look at it this way. Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are arguably the first two well-known video game adaptions. There was Double Dragon. We haven't done that one yet. We'll get to that in the future. But those are the two people remember. People always remember Mortal Kombat as being the good one, Street Fighter being as the bad one. Go watch our They Made What into a movie of Mortal Kombat. It is a good movie, but again, it's got horrendous flaws.
The first one.
The first one was, that's what I'm about to get to. Mortal Kombat was good because what it did was it took the important selection of characters, a small number of them went, you're our focus. Street Fighter went, all of them, every fucking character.
Yeah, way too many.
And it don't even matter, it don't matter if they've only got a fucking line in it. That's the only thing that matters here. Also, we're going to take those characters and we're going to change them anyway because we can't be bothered to write in anything. I am going to lose my shit over certain characters and how they're portrayed. And here's the thing, it's a fighting game. I get how hard it is to adapt. But simply put, you just then go, well, they are what they are.
Yep.
They are exactly as they are. Funny enough, Annihilation, the second Mortal Kombat one, again, go watch that. They made what into a movie. Seemed to take its fucking lessons from this movie.
Easily, yeah, because again, they did
just jam everyone in. It is infuriating. But let's get into it a bit now, yeah? 1994, it was released. Directed by Steven E. DeSouza. Based on the video game series of the same name produced by Capcom. Street Fighter's famous. We shouldn't need to tell you that. Chances are you'd have played a Street Fighter game in your life. What are we? We're kids of Street Fighter 2, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, easily.
Yeah, easily, absolutely. It's distributed by Universal Pictures in the US and Columbia Pictures internationally. The film stars. Now, I've just chosen a few names rather than doing them all because we'll get into them as we go on. But we have Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia as Gala and Bison, respectively, along with supporting performance by Byron Mann, Damon Chapper, Kylie Minogue, Ming-Na Wen, and Wes Studi. Yeah, we'll get to Kylie.
Yeah.
We'll get to her. She does something in this film that, to date,
I know what you're going to say.
Still, I remember I was lying in bed the other morning with my wife, and I said to her, I watched Street Fighter last night. Something bothered me when I was a kid, and it bothers me now. Is it?
I'm going to say thrust kick.
Thrust kick!
Thrust kick, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
We'll get to it. We'll get to that. It basically, this film loosely follows the plot of Street Fighter 2: The World Warrior. Loosely is the fucking word.
Yep.
Hilariously, the film was commercially successful, with a worldwide box office gross approximately 3 times its production costs. So congratulations, everyone. It made money.
Yep.
And its home video releases and television broadcasts have also proven to be profitable, with the film earning Capcom a return of 15.5 billion yen for the box office and home media.
So that's a lot.
Yeah, it's weird that they never really thought, okay, well, it made a lot of money. Let's just make another one.
Yeah.
They would make further Street Fighter movies, but nothing's ever come close to money this was made. Of course, famously, savaged by the critics. That's it. Savaged by the critics and most audiences as well. It was also, as we said, Raul Julia's final theatrical performance as he died of a stroke 2 months before the film's release, having been suffering from his cancer. Right, the movie. Here we go. A bombastic opening credit sequence proper sets things up excitingly. I love this. I actually, weirdly enough, love the intro. The music there, and the news feeds going off, and then you see that logo, and I'm like, damn, that's cool. How exciting you must have been back in 1994, fucking Street Fighter.
Yep.
And then this is what you got. It immediately starts to go wrong, as we then get a ton of exposition via these news reports. Hold on. I had to do these notes. There's a lot going on here. A civil war has been happening in a place called Shadaloo. Kind of reminds me of Vietnam.
Yeah.
One then cuts to Chun-Li, played by Ming-Na Wen, and she's a news reporter. And immediately I'm like, she's a news Chun-Li is a new. Okay, all right. We'll see where it goes. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt, right? She's reporting live from the AN Forces area, the Allied nations, the good guys, basically, who have taken back the capital of Shadaloo. We then get a ton of stock footage. You notice that of troops in combat. Clearly, nothing to do with this film.
Yep.
Like weirdly, the Allied nations wear blue. The stock footage is like camo and like that kind of stuff. Is like it's not the same fucking people. Before Chun-Li suggests that the forces will have more trouble beating the forces of Bison. We then immediately cut to Bison's lair. I'm just calling it Bison's lair.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything else with it. Where he's watching the same news report on his big screen on his floating platform. You will get an explanation about that platform at the end, but it doesn't fly with me. This is, of course, Raul Julia, and his crew are all busy as we hear Chun-Li say that Bison has captured 63 AN relief workers. We then see the captured people being led through the lair and thrown into a pit as we hear the ransom demand is $20 billion. How do you not do the finger in the mouth? Do you know what I mean? Immediately. We then see that Bison has also captured some AN soldiers and a large man who we will later know, we don't know who he is yet, but we will later know as Zangief. He's basically showing him the Bison. Look at this guy. Zangief is played by Andrew Bieranowski. And I get the impression they're looking for someone, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But they're not.
No.
That's the thing. They're actually not. They do this weird thing where Bison's like, well, you came across the world to fight me. Now you have your opportunity. They run at him. He just knocks them down, calls them pathetic, and that's it. We then go back to Chun-Li as she chases down the AN commander, who is Gal, played by you-know-who. Oh, yeah, it's Beefcake Van Damme.
This part of the film really pisses me off.
Why?
I went to say because it's like, how fucking stupid are you?
Oh, okay, all right. But this does get Bison's attention. Guile refuses to talk to Chun-Li before he decides to take the mic and speak directly to Bison, calling him a thick son of a bitch. And doing the most, like, you know when you're like, okay, what other burn can he come up with? He goes, on the screen. And honestly, you just want to cringe. You're like, oh, that's terrible.
So professional. You're the commander of his army, and you're doing this on live TV around the world.
Well, we'll call into his unprofessional nature later on.
You get reprimanded.
He ain't get reprimanded. He's a hero.
Oh, yeah, he's a hero.
He's a hero.
I know you like to look at yourself on television, you sick son of a bitch. So look at this.
But yes, because this, what Bison seeing that arm gesture is incensed. He's like, how dare that guy? And he tells DJ, played by Miguel A. Nunez Jr. Did you recognise DJ?
He looks very familiar, but I can never pinpoint his face, but I know I've seen him before. Right,
so I'm going to highlight DJ, the actor Miguel A. Nunez Jr., because he happens to be a major player in a movie that is very important to me. It's a movie I have tattooed on my body in several places. It's a movie that inspired this very website's title. He is in Return of the Living Dead. He plays Spider.
Oh my god, of course it is, yeah.
He also appears in Friday the 13th. The dude's done a lot of horror movies. But yes, this is Spider. And dare I say, DJ is one of the best things in it.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a lot of lines, but there are some very funny moments with his reactions and faces. We'll get to some of them later on. Bison tells him to break into the feed. We then see that Chun-Li is basically trying to wrestle the mic from Guile, but this was apparently his plan, and he goaded Bison into like contacting him. Because she's like, what are you doing? He's like, hold on. And this is where we get stupid again. Somehow, fuck knows how, Bison is able to communicate through a video camera. A camera that, like, that's a camera to record.
Yeah, exactly.
How is he communicating? Not only that as well, how is he talking to them?
Bluetooth, eh?
Bluetooth for 94. Insane. The camera is being held by Balrog, who's played by Grand L. Bush. We'll get a bit more about Balrog later on, I think. Guile tells a woman, who kind of whispers to in front of the camera as well. Like, she comes in camera, like, Bison's there looking at him, and he's like, well, Bison's pretty clear you're telling us something. Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. This is Cammy, played, of course, by Kylie Minogue, and he tells her to trace the signal and then decides to keep Bison talking. Yeah. They share some bants, him and Bison, Guile and Bison, as Cammy tries to trace the feed after kicking E. Honda out of the van. His role in this is to make jokes about him being fat.
Yep.
Get it?
Yep.
He's a sumo. But he's played by Peter Tuasopio. I'm definitely not saying that name right. He gets kicked out of News van, but unsurprisingly, get this, Bison and all his technology notices they're trying to trace him. DJ notices it.
Of course.
Can you believe it? I'm shocked.
Yeah, shocking, yeah.
Bison then teases Guile, and he starts a countdown that will last for 3 days. When it runs out, and if he hasn't been paid, the hostages will die. Evil villain shit, right? Guile tries to communicate to the hostages that they are coming. I'm laughing already because this might be the dumbest thing he does. He's saying, "Look, we are coming for you. We are coming," and then he sends his best friend to his death.
Exactly.
By calling out to him directly. He calls Charlie. What are you supposed to say about it?
This is a bit which I know it's a film, but it's how fucking stupid are you? Seriously?
Yep.
I mean, Bison, you and Bison are both enemies, and you just give your best friend to Bison.
Yep.
It's like
you told Bison that he has a hostage that is dear to Guile.
Exactly.
Even if he doesn't know who it is, he knows one of them is. That is absurd.
And if I was Charlie, I'd come and say, "Cheers, pal. Cheers, pal."
Do you know what I mean? Like if I was Charlie, my reaction would be like, "Dude, the fuck?" Because Charlie, played by Robert Mamone, also happens to be the one Zangief is currently holding. Also, rather than basically Charlie couldn't play poker because, as Guile says it, he reacts facially, and you're like, "Oh, you guys both suck.
Yep.
You both fucking suck."
You hostages, if you can hear me, we're coming. We're coming. Charlie, hang on, buddy. We're coming.
That's enough for Bison to notice. He goes over, checks his dog tags, which read Carlos Blanca, aka Charlie. Bison sends him to the lab. This is Blanca. We're going to get, obviously, into more about Blanca
Yeah.
as it goes on, but arguably this might be the most fucked up thing they do for characters.
Yeah, definitely.
So do you see the problem with a lot of these characters already? How many have been introduced within the first 10 minutes?
Literally, pretty much the entire lot, really. Apart from maybe Sagat and Vega, really, and Ken and Ray. That's it, really. Everyone else has been mentioned, really.
Bear in mind, you'll come into this movie having played Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Who the fuck matches up to their character?
No, exactly.
Who? Chun-Li's a reporter. Balrog's a cameraman. Honda's in the news van.
Yeah.
Cammy?
I mean...
Guile, I guess?
Looks-wise, I think Edmund Honda looks pretty spot on for me. And Zangief are the two most spot on lookalikes for character-wise.
Right.
But other than that, yeah.
Okay. Cammy then reports back to Guile saying that the trace failed. We then cut to some underground fighting pit where some guy is getting fucked up by Vega, played by Jay Tavray, who at least initially looks cool. The mask, the claw. I was like, hey, that's like instantly. You don't have to tell me that's Vega. I'm like, yeah, easy, right? Walking in though are the pairing of Ryu and Ken, or Ryu and Ken, depending upon who you say. They tend to say Ryu in this.
Yeah.
The former is played by Byron Mann, and the latter played by Damon Chapper. And they are out of their comfort zone, but are here to do a weapons deal with Sagat, played by Wes Studi. I want to talk about Wes Studi for a minute. I've seen him in loads of movies.
Yep.
He's always good. He is good in this. He's not great because the character isn't great, but he's good. I'm happy with him in this.
Yeah, I mean, he's done loads of films, and he always has quite a solid performance in the majority of his films. Agreed.
What about Ken and Ryu? Or Ryu? They fucking suck, Damon. Do not say anything else. They both suck. Think about Ryu in particular from the game.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is this guy? Who is this guy?
Well, I mean, the fact that, I'm waiting for the pure blonde hair, for starters. They could at least dyed your hair, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, you are right. Don't even go for the look, do they?
Yeah, I mean, it's a joke.
Yeah, I think they both suck.
Yeah.
Ken and Ryu are shady, but Sagat is even shadier, as he's got hold of the weapons and turns them on Ryu and Ken. His men point them at the pair and then shoot them with them. But the weapons are actually toys, and they get hit with ping pong balls.
Preto! Saludo!
Why is this funny?
Just because is that where they literally... No, sorry, it hasn't happened yet. Sorry. It's coming up where the big fight breaks out.
Okay, so like, this is the first moment we realise this film tries to have comedic elements. Not a lot of it works for me personally. Everyone laughs at Ken and Ryu as Sagat tells his men to fight them. He says something like, I like my meat alive and a living colour?
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. But Ken and Ryu easily win, but then have actual guns pointed at them. During this fight, they try and do a comedy moment where Ken's on the floor and one of the guys points a gun and he looks shocked and then a ping pong ball hits him in the head. Yeah. You're laughing like this is funny.
I mean...
I don't get it.
The film's so bad. These sort of moments make it bearable.
No, there are funny moments, but no, I don't find this funny. I mean, as a kid, I just thought it was stupid, you know? Back to Bison's lair. We have arrived at the lab to introduce more characters. Here's Dr. Dalcium. Yes, Dr. Dalcium.
Yep.
Played by Roshan Seth. He is a prisoner and Bison is forcing him to do science for evil. He is attempting to transform Charlie into a monster by showing him videos of horrible events. Basically, he's being clockworked oranged.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it. Clockwork Orange was like this idea of showing you incredible levels of violence to transform you was done a bit different in Clockwork Orange. It's fine. I don't
fine,
care.
But obviously, obviously, Dalcium as a character.
Yeah. Oh my god. You hopefully at the end you can explain to me what happens when I get to a point. But we'll get to that. However, remember I said to you that I started to notice things I never noticed before. Dalcium, at a point in the scene, goes to sit at a big computer that's really, really tall. He sits down in a chair. The prop fucking shakes. Bear in mind, it's a computer station. It shakes when he sits down in it. I went back and was like, oh my god, the prop's made of fucking cheap cardboard. And it shook when he sat down. It shouldn't shake. It's a fucking heavy computer.
Yeah. Wow.
Made me laugh, man. Dalsim then gets a little cheeky with Bison, who gets handsy with him and threatens the doctor. Good. Like, Dalsim's a right cheeky little prick.
It is, yeah.
He then brings in some more scientists who'll be working on transforming Blanca's body. So they're going to make him green and ginger.
They called Dalsim a doctor, but I always thought he was a scientist. But I mean,
Scientists can be doctors.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Back in the fighting pit, Ryo is being forced to fight Vega. Vega shows off his looks and skills and just how popular he is with the women. He is a good-looking dude. They did at least cast that one correctly.
Yeah,
Didn't create some fucking goddamn uggo like "Hey you guys" from Goonies or something like that.
Yeah, definitely good character.
We get a comedy scene where a woman holding... Right, yeah, we get several scenes that are supposed to be funny here.
Yeah.
And I don't get them. So the first, there's a comedy scene where a woman is holding a "Me Heart Vega" sign. Vega looks, she then passes it to a friend, and Vega, like, he goes, like he's shocked.
Shocked, yeah.
I don't get it. What did I miss? Is it because she passed it along, or because
I don't know.
he knew it? I feel like there's a scene missing.
Yeah,
We then get Ryo being given a blade, which he then does lots of moves with. And again, you get like a Hot Shots thing here. I don't get it. Where he's swinging it really fast. And then it sounds like someone gets cut in the crowd, but the crowd are nowhere near it.
No, yeah.
And it even focuses on it like it's supposed to be something we notice. And I'm like, huh? What's going on?
Yeah. It's
Fucking weird.
Really, really silly scene.
Anyway, he releases the knife. It goes past, hits the wall behind Vega, who is shocked. Vega goes to get his claw and mask, but the crowd chant for no weapons, and obviously under pressure to perform for them, Vega agrees. We'll get a scene I like. We're going to get a scene. We now have a scene I like. The counter goes down. 10, 9, 8. And it cuts back and forth, though. Squaring off. And then it goes 0. They run towards each other. And basically, a tank comes crashing through the wall. It's a brilliant effect. Brilliant practical effect. It's tense. It looks amazing. Love it. Don't get me wrong, it's about to be completely fucking ruined. By fucking Guile coming out of the tank and basically going, you're all under arrest.
You're all under arrest.
And everyone, bear in mind, right? Bear in mind, I know he's in a tank, but he's the only one there.
I know.
And there's no way that tank is going to be able to maneuver to shoot everyone.
Nope.
Everyone just goes, okay, instead of running away, like scattering.
They've all got guns too. I mean, real guns. He's open air to just fucking shoot him.
It's absolutely just one of those, oh, for goodness sake, is this what we're going to be doing with Guile? Is this going to be the baddest of the baddest arses?
Yep.
We then get a weird reference to a Robin Williams film, Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
With the guy going, good morning, Shadaloo. I don't get it. Like, you hear this guy constantly throughout the movie. It's a weird fucking thing again. We see Guile is throwing a staff meeting, which is the film's chance to introduce more characters. Because these are characters, let's be honest, you really wanted to see from.
Yep.
Captain Sawada, played by Kenya Sawada, so same name, and Greg Rainwater is T-Hawk.
T-Hawk, yeah.
Because that's who we needed. Like, how stoked are we like, oh, fucking T-Hawk's in this. Can't wait to see him do something. He gets some lines.
He gets a few lines there.
So I'll give him that. A waiter is then let in, but he's an assassin. And he tries to kill Guile. Guess what, assassin? If you want to kill him, while you're serving... This is what I'd have done. He comes in, he's serving water. I'd have gone over to Guile, served the water... Stab! What I wouldn't have done is stand at the opposite end of the table, jump on the table, and then run down the table towards Guile. That is as equivalent of you coming up behind someone and going, yeah, before you hit them.
I might be wrong here, but I always wondered, was this scene here, was that a reference to when Leslie Nielsen takes the piss out of it?
Maybe. With what?
I don't know if it was Aspire Hard or Naked Gun, where it does the whole scene where he's He's undercover.
Oh, that's the start of Naked Gun 2?
Yeah.
With all the evil leaders?
Yeah, the bloody...
No, it's not. No, I know what you're thinking, but yeah. Anyway, Guile kicks this guy's legs out from underneath him. The guy's defeated. End of. Cammy then checks out and rips open his shirt to discover a tattoo of the Shadaloo tongue, which is a tattoo we then see that Sagat and Vega have. They're in prison, watching Ryu and Ken. They want revenge. Everyone in the mess area leaves, and we then cut between this and Guile out loud thinking. Oh, it's annoying. And what worse is Kylie Minogue's Cammy. Now, I don't think she's terrible in this. In the sense that there are worse.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot
but
worse.
It's so fucking bad. And like, you get this thing where she's like that. He's gone, I'm thinking out loud. And she's like, oh, okay. It's just awful. They're not good together. Yeah. That's a major problem. He's thinking they can use Sagat to get the Bison if they are linked. Because if Sagat and Bison are linked, we can certainly get to them. The plan is then to infiltrate someone into his gang. In the prison, Ken and Ryu are about to be attacked by loads of goons. Let's be honest, fucking goons. But again, this movie just fucking sucks. Because guess what? It decides to play his music. Let's get ready to rumble. I wish they'd changed that out for Ann and Deck instead.
Oh, God.
Ready to rumble and done their version. It would have been more funny.
It would have been, yeah.
It's just like, oh, it's so fucking dumb. It's just another thing we just like, oh, it's cheesy as well. It makes you feel stupid for watching the film.
It is proper cheesy.
It does, yeah.
I also find it odd how literally like Guile's there too. Literally the prison is there.
And his windows up there.
I mean, it's inside base above the prison, I think.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
it's like you wouldn't have moved into a more secure location. Nope, you'd keep them all here. Although, to be fair, they are about to. Oh, yeah, we jump back between Ken and Ryu and Guile's meeting. Ken and Ryu are beating everyone up, and the noise gets the attention of Guile, who then sees them from a window, the window in question. Ryu and Vega briefly renew their rivalry before guards break it up. Somehow, Vega was able to craft a claw out of bamboo and spiky bits. Yep. I mean, I've heard of people creating shivs in prison, but this is a bit fucking much. Guile tells T-Hawk, to bring them to him, as his plan is to get Sagat to trust his enemies rather than new friends. It makes no sense. Nope. How is that a good plan? Like, it works out because of what they do, but let's be honest, it makes no sense. If Sagat won't trust new friends, maybe he'll trust new enemies. And wait for its camera response. Huh? Huh? Like, honestly, man, if he gave up at that point, I wouldn't blame you. Just go, you know what? This is not working for me. I'm fucking done. It's just that, huh? It's like, shut up, Kylie! Go sing a song. You're better at it. We then see Blanca being transformed slowly as Dulcium looks on. That's that. Move on. This film does this a lot. Too many characters, isn't it? Elsewhere, Guile has shown Ken and Ryu around a refugee camp. He's trying to basically guilt trip them. Or call it a wake-up call, gentlemen. God. As he says, they tell him that they're not the same as Bison and Sagat and they want to leave. He tells them that the only way you're going to leave is over my dead body.
The only way you two are leaving is over my dead body.
What annoys me about this, right, is that Ken and Ryu, rather than thinking that that's just a statement of fact, which is basically you're not getting out of here, they look at each other like, huh? Yeah, like they're actually going, what does he mean? Do we have to kill him? Like, why would that be my first thought would be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to prison for life then.
Yeah, exactly.
Or until you die, or whatever. Not, oh, does he want us to kill him, Ken? Yeah, no. I don't know, Ryu. Why would you think that? Oh my God. Back in the prisoners, which include Ken and Ryu, Sagat and Vega, are being loaded onto a transport bus as Guile watches on. Ken and Ryu start to argue and get into a fight. Do like the argument, it's very believable. They do it really, really well. Definitely. It's a distraction though, and Ryu has grabbed the guard's keys. What I thought was interesting was, simply put, you worked it out. It's like, no, he probably had the keys on him all along.
Yeah, definitely.
Easy as that. On the truck, they start to free themselves, which Sagat then sees from across the van. He tries to cut a deal with them. Forget our past. I can help you escape. Under the promise that he can help them escape, they agree to help him and throw him the keys.
And he gives them proper evils too after.
He does, yeah. Now free, the prisoners stage a prison break, taking the truck and busting out of Dodge. Guile comes running out to be a hero. And here's the thing, like, the film wants to fool you, but I think they do a terrible job of it.
Yeah.
Because he literally jumps in the path of the truck and is just shooting at it, with Ken hanging at the back, shooting him as well. There are about 500 bullets fired in this scene, and eventually 2 hit Guile in the stomach, seemingly killing him. and you're like, okay, well that wasn't real. Clearly not.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching the film for the first time, it's so obvious what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like, okay, this is clearly going to be fake. It's an intriguing idea.
Yeah.
And I like it because you do cut the cigar in the van and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm impressed, Ken, you killed Guile. But it should also be noted as well, if Guile had actually been dead and I was the person to take over his job and they were like, oh my God, Guile was so great, I'd be like, whoa. He tried to stop a moving truck by standing in its way.
Exactly.
He was an idiot. I'm not, like, no, that's not how things work.
He's supposed to be like the commanding officer, and he literally puts himself in
Every
in a
risk
fire
all
line.
the time. Well, because he's a hero.
Yeah.
He leads by example and all that.
When he gets shot twice, though, it's the scream too. It's like, ugh.
Slow motion, isn't it? The slow motion fall.
And Ken smiles, and then he goes to Scott's face. He's like,
It's funny, yeah. During the truck's escape, Chun-Li does a roll move and somehow manages to throw a tracking device in the truck as it burns its way out of town. It's a roll move. She goes, roll and then throws it.
She could have walked over to it
Yeah.
and placed it in.
She didn't even do that. Just,
Or throw it.
but no, she has to do a roll move because Street Fighter, right?
Yeah.
Guile's dead body is surrounded as medics arrive, but he is declared dead. I love these medics who literally go, well, check his wrist, no pulse. Sorry, guys, he's dead. Now, I realise, obviously, they were probably in it, obviously, to pretend he was dead and all that, but we don't know this stage. I'd be like, you're not even going to try and give him CPR?
Oh, you missed the whole Kylie. Medic!
Medic! No, she's right here. Back at Bison's lair, the man is planning to build a temple to himself in the grounds of the ancient temple that sits above. This is where Raw Julia's at his best. These scenes. Not when he's having to spout bollocks or talk to fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme, when he's just cutting his shit and being funny. Like, he's talking to his architect and he's like, the food court needs to be larger part. It's so fucking amusing. Because it's like, this is this warlord and he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to build this great fucking thing. All the corporations are going to want in it, so the food court will be larger. So we can basically fit in McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, all of them. That's fucking funny. He then sees a news report from Chun-Li that informs the world that Guile is dead. This scene I love. Well, it's a line I love. DJ is pleased for Bison, but Bison is unhappy as he wanted to fight Guile in the battlefield. Love this interaction. DJ's, congratulations, General. And Bison immediately goes, on the contrary, I mourn. And DJ, with that cut, blinking, goes, okay. Like that, just like really like, okay. And just like, well, I won't bother next time, that kind of thing. Bison does a big old speech, wondering out loud why they call him a warlord and call him mad while proceeding to detail his plans that make him sound like a warlord and a madman.
Yep.
It's that kind of situation, but it works because it's a crazy man's speech.
Yeah, definitely.
It's got epic music. It focuses on his logo, but during it as well, you keep cutting to certain faces. In particular, DJ just like almost rolling his eyes.
Why do they still call me a warlord? And mad? Carlos Blanca will be the first of many. They shall march out of my laboratory.
But then you do get Zangief going, that was beautiful. Now, I like Zangief in this movie. I think he's probably got some of the funnier moments.
Definitely.
But this was not one of them. It's trite.
Yeah.
So, where are we? Back in Shadaloo, Chun-Li starts to track the truck. And they end up noticing that someone else has apparently put a homing beacon on the truck. Then, through magic, I guess, magic Harry Potter stuff, they're able to trace that signal back to its source, which is inside the ANHQ. And they're like, oh, I wonder why they're doing that. And I'm like, because they wanted to track the truck. It's not fucking complicated.
Exactly.
You got a tracker on there. Maybe on the other side of that truck, Cammy was doing her forward roll and throwing a tracker on herself. It's not that big of a deal. But she seems to think it is. And as they leave, Chun-Li goes all ninja and infiltrates the HQ to try and find the signal.
Oh, God, this bit coming up so fucking
Oh,
stupid.
yeah. Well, I will ask you to explain it. You're going to totally explain it to me, right?
Yep.
It's not exactly difficult for her either. She gets into a window and that's it. Walks down a couple of stairs.
No guards, no security, nothing.
Nothing. She winds up in the morgue where Guile's body is being kept. For reasons that escape me, he decided to stay down until Chun-Li arrived. His death was a ruse. As he sits up, she sits up under the sheet, surprising her. It was a ruse to endear Ken and Rue to Guile, make Bison think he was killed. All makes sense. It's what we expected.
Yep.
Right, let's break this fucking scene down. Right, so Guile was part of a ruse and all that. He's now back in the HQ, where everybody knows about the ruse, or presumably most people know about the ruse. Why is he still down there hiding under a sheet?
Yeah, I don't get it. Surely the moment he was moved from the ground outside, inside, that was it. Why is he downstairs under the sheet? Why is the tracking system next to him?
Next to him.
In a morgue. I mean, why in a morgue? It's got to be cold, surely.
Well, the best I can come up with is this. I have a theory, which is he was actually down there working on those machines, tracking and stuff like that, heard Chun-Li coming, and got back under the sheet.
That's not bad theory.
That's the best I can come up with. They don't show us that. It's the best I can do.
I'll go. I'll believe that's what they were thinking.
Which would be fine, except for two problems. When she takes the sheet off, he's got his eyes closed, so he doesn't know who that is.
Yeah.
He then waits until she puts the sheet back over to then sit up. So you didn't know who it was. And they do it's like an attempt of a jump scare.
Yeah,
because they do the jump scare noise twice. Once when he sits up.
Oh, yeah,
the second when he takes the sheet off his legs. Why is there a second one? Fucking hell. It's weird. He can't let Chun-Li leave, though, of course, seeing as she's a reporter. She tells him she won't report on it and she wants Bison dead. She's been waiting 20 years to get him. But Gar's like, look, man, ain't personal. Tells T-Hawk to arrest her. As she is led away, she breaks free instantly. They're useless.
Yep.
And escapes. And we get Gar remarking that she's quite a woman. What a woman.
Yeah, what a woman.
At an unknown place, who knows where this is, there's a gathering of warlords. This is a warlord party, basically. Everyone got in one place where you could easily be attacked,
Yep.
but we all went here. It's basically big weapon sales going on. We then immediately, now bear in mind, we just cut from Chun-Li escaping to this area, and now see that Chun-Li, Honda, and Borg are here. But they've infiltrated Bison's tent,
Yep.
dressed as performers for entertainers. So fuck telling you how they got there.
You just got to presume that it's been a day or a couple of hours, which is it's ridiculous that you got to presume that. But yeah.
Yeah, well, you have to. That's the best we can go on. Also in the tent, Sagat, Vega, Ryu, and Ken, with the latter being enamoured by Chun-Li and thinking that she likes him. Bison said, we're going to get to a real fucking problem. In fact, these next couple of scenes have things that I noticed this time around that make no fucking sense. Bison and Sagat start the talk business as Vega goes off to get the weapons. Ken sees Chun-Li again and decides to follow her. Particularly, she smiles at him, kind of encouragingly, as Ryu talks very loudly about their plan. How annoying was that? Several times throughout this movie, including in Bison's lair, they're like, yeah, so we're good guys here to totally ruin this plan. Oh, hopefully we can get away with it. There's no whispering, they're just talking out fucking loud.
Yeah, they do it a lot during this film.
And in this tent is even worse because they're like, it's full. Mm-hmm. Whisper, you weirdos. Sagat shows Bison the guns they have for him and Bison is pleased. Ken is following Chun-Li to a tent, but he is then attacked by the group. Bison then offers Sagat a share in the country once he's won. However, Sagat wants money. I do like the line about we'll see how much of the country is left before we divide it up. That kind of thing. That's decent.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Ryu, having followed Ken, finds the same tent and is attacked. But before the fight can really get going, Chun-Li interrupts. So there's no fight here at all. We then jump back to Bison. His men bring in a crate of money to Sagat, which when he opens, he finds is filled with Bison dollars. I didn't like this. Sagat is furious, especially when Bison tells him his plan is to kidnap the Queen of England, thus forcing the Bank of England to accept his exchange rate of 5 Bison dollars to 1 British pound. It's the way he just says it so matter-of-factly. Just like, that's what he's going to do. You're going to kidnap the Queen. Do you know how hard that is? It's like, okay. Sagat is pretty angry and calls Bison a lunatic. Basically, this party's over with this behaviour. Do like it, though. Quite strong, like, throwing the money in the fire and all that.
This money's not worth something it's printed on.
Yeah, the paper it's printed on. Chun-Li is tied up Ken and Ryu, telling them that they know who they are and basically to stay out of their way. We then... Right. So let me talk about problems. Let's go back a little bit here. Chun-Li earlier on turns around and says to Balrog and Honda after flirting with Ken, because here's the problem. You can say she's just smiling and all that. She's giving him the eyes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Several times she is.
Yep,
she didn't have to do that. She created the problem with Ken.
Yep.
She created it. She almost encouraged him to come after her. In like the film's context.
But she also says to them that she knows who they are.
Mm-hmm.
How? Because...
Well, with Guile.
He didn't actually tell.
He didn't say who it was she?
He
Yeah.
didn't tell her that I've got 2 people who are informants.
Yeah. All right, so let's say she saw Ken hanging out the back of the van.
Yeah.
Did she ever see Riot? Yeah, no, you are right.
So,
You are right.
She might figure it out because it's pretty obvious. Let's face it, it is pretty obvious.
Yep.
But then why would you tie them up for? Surely they could help her.
Well, she lets them go straight away.
Oh, exactly.
That's the thing, she lets them go straight fucking away, which results in the next thing. However, I'm going to talk about what I believe is a flub line. Now, this is baffling, and I rewatched it several times to make sure I wasn't missing something. So basically, it goes like this. We get some lines about Honda and Borog's history. But the line from Borog is delivered oddly. And this is what happens. So basically, Honda says his sumo career was ruined by the Shadaloo tongue. Borog turns around and says, they did the same with my boxing career. Note, he actually says what his career was. Boxing career. Ken then makes a crack about figure skating. Ken goes, don't tell me. Figure skating. Wait, what? What do you mean, don't tell me? That would normally work if Borog said this. They did the same with my career.
Yeah, exactly.
Then Ken goes, don't tell me. E.g., you haven't said what it is.
Yeah.
Figure skating. Borog says
Told you.
boxing.
He told you, yeah.
So someone fucked up that line.
Yeah.
And no one either noticed or they just thought, fuck it.
Yeah, well,
no one's going to care.
Yeah.
Because that response by Ken makes no sense.
Unless they're just making out Ken to be an idiot, which he is an idiot. Let's face it, he's an idiot. But yeah.
The focus on the line delivery says it's supposed to be funny, and Ken's got a cheeky scamp demeanour about him.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're planning to blow up the camp, because the other thing as well about, if you want them to stay away and you don't trust them, tell them what you're going to do. The party in Bison's tent is about to kick off into a gunfight. They've all sided off against each other. Ken and Rhea are freed and told they have 10 minutes to get out. They walk back into Bison's tent right into the middle of the standoff. There is a good little scene that pans out. They just walk directly into it. They try to talk everyone down, but are then grabbed by both leaders. Sagat grabs Ken, Bison grabs Ryu. And get out of trouble, they basically go, there are spies everywhere. This next part is odd. Again, this whole sequence of events here is just poorly put together. As we then hear a TV start to play. And Ryo's like, there's the spies. It's Chun-Li on the TV, who then appears and is actually talking to Bison. Now, I presumed it was pre-recorded to a degree, right? But no, it couldn't be, because we see the live feed.
It's alive, yeah.
But on this TV, she decides to tell them about her plan. Tell them, we're going to blow you up. And switch the footage to a truck that's filled with explosive, rolling down a hill, heading towards the tent. As they watch, the reality's heading for them. Even changing the channel will not work. All right, let's talk about this line. It's probably a famous comedy line from the movie.
Yeah.
It made me laugh a lot as a kid.
Quick! Change the channel!
As an adult, I appreciate it.
It's appreciated,
Only because, really, as an adult, I appreciate his facial reactions. So he's like that. Quick! Change the channel! Like that. And the DJ's like, you know, like that's what I like this time.
It's delivered very well.
It is. It is delivered well. You're absolutely right. Bison and everyone else still manage to escape unharmed. The bomb blows up a small part of the camp. Don't know what you mean by blowing up the whole camp.
I don't get... Why would you announce your plan?
Right, we're going to get to that. Let's get to the next part. We then see satellite footage of Chun-Li and her group being captured. And in Bison's lair, Bison declares Ken and Rhea as guests as they help warn him of Chun-Li's plan. And Chun-Li and her goons are angry. Now here's the issue. Let's talk about this.
Yep.
Right. None of this is Ken and Rhea's fault.
Nope.
None of it. Chun-Li planned to let Bison know. Hence the fucking video message. If you wanted to kill them, you just start the truck rolling or park it next to the tent. But fuck it. Just have the truck rolling.
Well, she managed to sneak a camera recording in there. Why couldn't the bombers be inside that little box? You stuck it in there. So
yeah, well, you're right. Yeah, if you managed to do all of that. But the fact that she went on TV, she wanted them to know she was trying to kill them. She gave them a chance to get away.
It's a typical... It's sort of like... Because it's not like she wanted Bison to get away.
Yeah.
She wanted her own personal revenge against
him. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because you wouldn't even bother doing it. No, you wouldn't. And Ken and Rhea never actually told Bison anything.
No, they just...
The point when they're like, there's the spy, is when the TV goes off.
Exactly.
Trying to get Bison's attention. So, like, why is she angry with them? Bison has also forgiven Sagat and Vega. He sends Honda and Balrog to be interrogated, but orders Chun-Li to be sent to his chambers. We'll get to that.
That's another thing, okay? So he's forgiven Sagat and Vega.
Yeah.
But they still want their money. Have they forgiven you?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a matter of let's just see what happens over the next little period of time. We then see the countdown is only 12 hours, and in the pit, the hostages look a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah.
Back with Guile. They now know where Bison is, and he starts to tell the rest of the troops the plan. He declares that he will be piloting a stealth boat up the river to start the assault. Okay. We then see Honda being whipped, but it doesn't seem to bother him. This goes on a little while. Balrog laughs and gets a punch for it, because we need to spend time with these two, right? The guard goes off, and we see that Honda was actually hurt, and they make a thing about Sumo's, putting his mind elsewhere, and a joke about pizza, because comedy.
Yep.
They then break their chains. We then see Ken and Ryo have been dressed in new outfits that match their video game outfits, white and red robes. Zangief says, now you look like Bison Troopers. And all I kept thinking was, but nobody else looks like them.
No, exactly.
Like, Bison Troopers all wear the same thing.
Same colours, yeah.
You don't look at all like Bison Troopers.
Nope.
Odd. After Zangief leaves, they decide to look around. It's the morning of the assault on Bison. You know what I'm getting to, people? And the troops are assembled. Before they can go, though, some stuffy suits. Oh, stuffy suits. Yeah. No, you can't do that. Arrive to declare that they're going to make a deal with Bison. The main guy of this is played by the always wonderful Simon Callow, who in a couple of scenes does more good for this movie than anyone else can. I'll get to my favourite thing in a moment. Basically, the assault is being called off. They're going to pay Bison. Simple as that. And Guile is so angry that instead of delivering the new orders, he does a big speech about kicking Bison's ass. This speech. I mean, there are many great movie speeches in the world. They may take our lives, but never take our freedom.
Yep.
Right? There's a great example of one. I'm trying to think of some more now. Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator. There's an incredible speech. This is not going to rank amongst them.
Nope.
For starters, it goes on for fucking ever. Get to the fuck... I mean, they even make a joke of Simon Callow looking at his watch like, is he going to get on with it? Because he's doing all our friends who have died, but we can go home. And it keeps cutting in the sad music, and it's like... Yeah, and all like the troops were like, no, we don't want to go home. We want to go and die, that kind of thing, for our friends. And he's like, well, I'm not going home. I'm going to get on my boat, and I'm going to go up this river, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is going to feel it.
Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me? And they all cheer, and everyone goes off the fight. It's epic.
I have to say, his biggest flaw in his big speech, is that he's telling his troops his plan.
Yep.
What if there's a spy in there?
Yeah.
And they go, oh, Bison, by the way, guards come up in a sailboat.
I mean, that's one of many problems. I'll throw in a few more. I'll throw in a few more. The shot of these troops, there might be 100? Is that it? Is that all he's got? Really? Because apparently more turn up later on. Yeah. Also, what always makes me laugh, and I know he's using a microphone, but his voice level is low.
Yeah.
What? What? We going home at the back. We going home. Oh, sweet. Cheers, guys. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, can't hear him. That kind of bollocks, In Bison's chambers, Chun-Li is telling him in long-winded fashion all about what he did to her village 20 years before. She is wearing an outfit that looks like the game costume now, but in red. And Bison changes as he talks about her family being killed. This is like Bison trying to slowly seduce her, which is weird. But it does result in the best line in the movie. The greatest delivery of just so good. So she's gone through this whole, like, you came to our village, you attacked, a load of farmers pushed you back, you had my father shot from a distance, and all that. And he just goes, it's something like, the first part is something along the lines of, the day Bison graced your village was the greatest day of your life. Yep. For me, it was Tuesday. And it's just like, oh my God.
It's so brutal.
It's so brutal. Yeah. Like, I don't remember it. It was just another day to me. I love that. I love that.
I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Elsewhere, we see Ken and Rhea knocking out a guard in the interrogation room. They're here to save Honda and Balrog, but those two attack them. But they eventually agree they're on the same side. You get in the weird comedy thing about mishearing Ken, which doesn't make any sense either, but whatever. We see Chun-Li continuing her story to Bison, who, as I said, is appearing to try to seduce her. She then reveals... So basically, his whole thing is that she's telling him that she learned to fight because she was waiting for the opportunity to kill him. And he turns around and says, look, I've been studying you. I know you. You've never thrown a punch until you came to this country. And I'm like, well, they're a street fighter, eh? Chun-Li hasn't fought. Awesome. And basically she says that's exactly what she wanted to think. And she breaks her chains and attacks him.
The extremely powerful chains.
She just goes, hiya!
Yes, time!
I actually really like the scene. I think this is actually really powerful because the choice of music and the way they film her kicking Bison, you're like, oh shit, like if I gave a fuck about her character and her story, I'd be into her almost getting her revenge here.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And it's like she's beating him up and it's done really well, like smashing his head into the glass and stuff like that. I was actually into it. It's like, oh shit, you're like, this is cool.
Yep.
But unfortunately, her idiot friends come running in and for some reason distract her. Lee! She stops and looks, giving Bison a chance to lock himself in a pod and release knockout gas, which knocked them all
What
out.
annoys me the most is that, okay, fair enough, you're calling her name outside the room.
Yep.
But when you get in the room, you can see her, Bison on the ground, you still call her again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the ground, and she's clearly kicking his ass.
Yep.
You still call her.
Yeah. No, I agree. Also, don't get distracted, Chun-Li.
Exactly.
Yeah, finish the job.
It's a chance for revenge. Why would you be distracted?
Yeah. Raw Julie isn't always perfect, though. The facial expression he makes in this gas chamber is absurdly stupid.
Oh, yeah, the weird laugh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guile takes the lead on the river, and we see him watching a video of happier times with Charlie. So, while I know, I just can't with this movie. So while driving to assault Bison's lair, he can somehow, with a tape, by the look of it, a cassette tape, play a video of him and Charlie on a double date. Eyes on the prize, Guile. Focus, man.
It's fair enough putting a picture of your family, your kids, whatever, a bit of like, oh, this could be my last goodbye, but come on, man, seriously.
But I'll ask you the question: do you give a flying fuck about Charlie?
No, because you don't even know who he is.
I don't know anything about him. I
Exactly.
do not care.
Yeah.
But talking of which, he's looking a little greener, a little ginger in the tank. Because that's what I kept thinking is they're just dyeing his hair.
Yeah.
Is that Bison was like, so when we fuck his mind, we want to increase his muscle mass, but I want him to look like a monster, so make him green. Anything you want to do with his hair?
Yeah.
Orange. Orange. Yeah, absolutely. Dalsium decides he wants to stop it though and uses his chance as a guard is distracted reading a magazine. And he changes the footage to nice stuff. So it goes from like war and shit to wedding and like soft sounds and things like that. In the main area of Bison's lair, all the good guys are now in chains on a balcony. He points out that they could have beaten him had they worked together. Oh, talk about telling what to do at the end, mate. Cheers for that. Guile then turns stealth on to get past the radar, using guns to destroy it when they get close. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Now I get the idea is he's got to destroy the radar and so on, right? Right, to get the other boats in. You're not very stealthy if you're blowing stuff up on your way in. Maybe land a boat where you need to go. Then your first port of mission is go set C4, dynamite, blow up all the stuff there. But literally, you might as well announce stuff because guess what? DJ notices.
The
radars are going offline. Unbelievable. They also bring up a camera because they're like, well, let's look at the river. But can't see anything. Apparently. This did my fucking night in. So the boat doesn't exist, right? But there is clearly something shooting through that water because you can see the spray. Now, surely Bison does because he's like, there's nothing there. So he basically, I don't know, he uses some override thing. Like, some way to override it. The stealth reveals the boat.
I mean, it's the fact that the proper high-tech cameras he's managed to got placed in the water too. Actually, on the water. Actually, and
Oh, yeah, it's practically in the water, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But it all gets serious. Having seen the boat, he then changes the bulb and moves it to yellow alert. In anticipation of a battle.
Yep.
Perimeter guns start firing on the ship, but don't do any damage. Bison then comes across the radio and demands to know who is in the boat. And rather than keep it quiet, keep it secret, to be a surprise when he pops up in the actual lair, Guile goes, "Hey, it's me, buddy, I'm here." Bison is angry and then proceeds to be really mean to Sagat. Like, I was like, oh, dude.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, like, also, like, don't pick on his disability, man. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I guess he didn't see that, did
Yes,
he?
yeah. It's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
This is the collection agency, Bison. Your ass is 6 months overdue.
And it's mine. I guess you didn't see that, did you?
Sagat is even madder at Ken and Ryu now. Bison gets in his floating platform and basically starts playing battleships to blow up Guile's ship. Guile drives into a minefield because he's an idiot and manages to dodge a lot of them for a bit, but realises they're about to get blown up, so bail out. Bison blows the ship up a few seconds later and believes he's now taking care of Guile. So,
Game over.
Yep, they had to do it. But I should also ask, how the fuck did they get out of the boat? They were flying down water in a minefield. It blows up chairs in the air. Only if we got that goofy noise, that noise as they go shooting in the air.
If that did happen, it would have gone up in the air and it would have landed in the water anyway.
Yeah, right.
And then it would have been straight on camera.
Also,
again.
like, he would have noticed, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea, but whatever, man. Whatever. We've got to get to this fucking part in the film. Dalsham's tricky has been discovered and he is attacked by the guard. In the fight, while knocking around, he manages to unleash Blanca. Blanca comes out and all he does like, that's Blanca.
Yep.
Like, there are bad portrayals in this, but this is the worst one.
Yeah.
He looks like shit. He's a muscly man who might be a little bit of an idiot.
Yeah, with a bit of
Body makeup.
Body
paint, isn't it? Yeah.
He's grunting too. Like, he's like,
yeah.
I understand he's been changed a bit, but yeah.
No, it's not good.
No.
Blanca sees Dalsy being choked to death and attacks the guard, killing him. We then see some Bison troopers are attacked by Guile and his group outside. And here it is, what we said at the very start of this. This is a fight where you get to see T-Hawk and Cammy do some moves. Now, bear in mind, at no point in this film, at any point in this film, has anybody said a name of a move. Nor will they after this point. For reasons that escape me, Cammy kicks a guy and proceeds to shout out, "Thrust kick." Why? It's so fucking weird. Thrust kick.
I've got no idea. I mean, I'd like to say maybe they were told to improvise, but then
And she decided to say a move.
Say a move. You know,
Also,
I mean,
what is a thrust kick?
yeah,
Isn't all kicks thrusting?
exactly. But a kicker wasn't even a good kicker. I mean, I would have preferred to see Guile go fucking Sonic Boom for Christ's sake.
Oh, you're not getting it. Come on, man. You're not getting none of that shit.
I know, but I would have rather seen that than a stupid bloody thrust kick.
We didn't see Callow's character on the phone, all for a joke about how no one is at the base. It's proper like one of those weirdly filler scenes. Oh, I actually want to go back a bit. I said there was a really funny scene with Callow earlier on. When Guile first gets in the stealth boat, don't get me wrong, Guile ruins the scene, as per usual. Yeah. But when Guile's first getting in it, Callow comes running up to the dock, and he's holding up the documents. And like, these documents, and it slips out and blows away, and they just hold on it an extra 2 seconds. Yeah. And like his comedic face of just being like, that killed me.
Stop them, please.
Yeah, that's it. Stop them, please. And then, of course, Guile rules away, going, "I'd love to, but the guy just got canned." And it's just like, oh, awesome. Yeah. Cheers for that, Jean-Claude. Needed you. Oh, and he also does that, Christopher Lambert laugh.
Yeah, he laughs and then he drives off and the water sprays.
Yep.
Everywhere, yeah.
Guile then randomly decides to ask T-Hawk about his headband. Do you understand why that was in there?
Nope.
What's the deal with the headband? It's lucky. He's Native American. Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay. I know it's did it. I didn't get it either.
Nope.
But yep.
Nope.
And they're infiltrating Bison's lair. Guard goes ahead once inside, all while making his non-stop badass cracks. Most of Jean-Claude's dialogue here was about making him look like the coolest dude ever.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks. We then see the timer running out in a hostage pit. Bison tells DJ to check his account, but there's no money. I love this bank account. I want a bank account that makes a really sad noise when there's no money left in it. I want that bank account. Gao continues his route in as Cammy tells him the rest of the troops will be there in 12 minutes. Very specific. He ends up in the lab that is now in ruins. He gets attacked by Blanca but recognises him. Fuck knows how. Looks nothing like Charlie. Which confuses Blanca. Guile is going to kill him, but Dalcian stops him. Bison then goes full supervillain by telling the hostages there's no one coming, that they're not worth anything, and that people wouldn't pay money to save their lives. He's not wrong.
Yep.
He's not wrong. Because let's be honest, the people that wanted to pay Bison could have just paid him anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's life. That's actually quite realistic. He says, look, they called me a beast, so I'm going to have a real beast kill you. Basically, his plan is to unleash a transformed Blanca on them.
You got the old openings. You got, stand clear, hostage pen opening. What kind of Death Lord has safety measures
It's the right way to do things. I like it. In the lab, Dalcian tells Guile what happened to Blanca, and they're immediately interrupted by the incubation chamber going off. And Dalcian points out that Bison is obviously expecting Blanca to come up in it. The chamber rises. Okay. So the chamber rises, and you've got this thing where it opens, and there's all this fog and all that. And it's a pathway into the hostage pits, and in theory, Blanca will come racing down it and kill them all. That's the plan. Instead, out comes Guile, who is fired out of a fucking rocket. I swear to Christ. He comes launching out at a speed that is simply impossible, with his leg up in the air. There's no room for him to get a run up. No. How is he doing that? It's absurd. But not only that, he manages to fly over the spikes and kick Bison in the chest. Bison troops become stormtroopers. Did you notice that?
Yep. Can't hit no one.
They can't aim for shit as all hell breaks loose. The others break free and start beating up guards too.
Do you think though? I think knowing Bison, he's told his troops do not kill Guile.
Not at this point, no.
You don't think?
Not at this point. Not after Bison's been kicked in the fucking chest in his own lair. No. More troops arrive. What, you think they're missing on purpose then? What about everyone else?
No,
why are you missing Ken?
Missing Guile.
Also, right, don't kill Guile, but you see, Honda, I really like that guy. Don't kill him either. I was a big fan of Borog's figure skating career.
Could you imagine if the guard who actually killed Guile, would he be a hero, or would Bison kill him?
I would love that. I would love to see that actually a movie where a bog standard nobody guard. It's that joke of Austin Powers where you see the true truth behind a henchman's family after the henchman's killed. That sort of level of stuff. More troops arrive as Guile kills a guard who falls on the red alert button. So no need to change a bulb here though. It just goes off. Yep. There's a lot of small battles going on here. Cabby and T-Hawk outside, Guile on the other side, Honda and Zangief then decide to start squaring off. Sagat and Vega see Ken and Ryo and decide they want revenge. So everybody's pairing off. Bison then grabs DJ, and the pair see that Blanca is fighting his own men. He checks the programming and sees that Dalcian has betrayed him. Do love Raul Julia's angry here. That's very believable.
Yep.
All the troops are landing now, and Ken and Ryo are heading off to save the hostages. Bison, seeing the chaos on screen, sees it as a battle. He does this sort of speech about last stand, all while the camera's positioned away for DJ to slowly back off and run away. I liked it.
Yeah, he said, me and you,
DJ. DJ's gone. After narrowly avoiding an explosion, Ken decides to leave, but Ryo wants to stay and save people. So they split up. This is fucking annoying as fuck. Yeah. At no point did I get that Ken was this unscrupulous, that he would do this and act this way.
Yeah,
and it shows how little character they had.
He would never abandon his, brother or friend.
Friend, right,
If we're going by the game-wise, they train together for many
rivals
years.
But friends, yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. Across the facility, Honda and Zangief are basically going nuts, just fighting their way across the facility. Guile on a platform does the Indiana Jones thing of facing off against troops with guns while holding a knife. But for some reason... Right. So this is supposed to be comedy as well. So they all come out and they're holding guns at Guile. Instead of immediately coming out and shooting him dead, they just hold guns on him. But they start to back away, and Guile's like, here. They're backing away because I've got a knife. Were you hit in the head? Were you hit in the head? Clearly you were. You're concussed. Because you can't be that stupid.
I don't get why they're backing away because surely they advise.
They've got guns too, right?
Yeah, I mean, they've just walked in. So if you guys fire straight away, they're not set up.
Yep. Also, to start shooting. You were shooting already. Why aren't you shooting now? But they start to back away as we see AN troops are all behind them. Do this thing where, like, Cammy calls out to him and he's like, he realises that he's looking a bit silly. AN troops have arrived. They're all over the place. And Cammy's like, no sign of Bison. And he's like, he's too scared to face me. But Bison then arrives, and Guile's like, no, we're going to have a one-on-one fight.
Are you man enough to face me?
Are you man enough to face me, Bison? While taking off his jacket. Bison agrees, of course he does, and everybody leaves to let them have their moment. Sure, why not? As they start the fight, we immediately... Right, oh my God. We have been waiting fucking an hour and 10 minutes for this face-off, this fight. We're finally here. You've built it up. Bison versus fucking Guile. And what do? The first punch is thrown, and you cut.
Yep.
For a fucking stupid, and dare I say, slightly racist joke. But I'll get to why. I couldn't believe it.
You know, the first punch you throw, which is the uppercut, it zooms in and there's Bison.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, that's when we come back. That's when we come back. That's after. We don't actually see a punch land because they cut to this fucking joke. And what it is, it's about Honda and Zangief. So, for some reason, Sanada is called to a room to check a feed, and they see Honda and Zangief fighting over Bison's model. But for some reason, it's been given Godzilla sounds. Yep. Now, me, because of Honda's background, although, of course, he's a sumo, I was like, why have you added Godzilla sounds? All right, I get it, you're trying to make it look like it's Godzilla versus Mothra or something.
Two beasts fighting each other or something like that,
but the sound effect is just...
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's a little bit racist, right?
Yeah.
Not just me. Back to the fight. Bison is strong, but Guile is fast. That's the two major differences I noticed. Yep. Bison can overpower him, but Guile is faster. Because we can't stay with one thing, we then jump to Chun-Li and Balrog, who are fighting baddies, with Balrog having now apparently found boxing gloves, and put them on. Why would you do that? Because he has to look like he's from a game. The film is really stupid at this point. We then see Guile winning his fight. Basically breaking Bison's back, I think?
Yeah.
It does imply that, doesn't it? It's pretty nasty. And he knocks Bison onto a computer equipment that electrifies his body and kills him. Bison's face here is not great. It's all over. Or is it?
Exactly.
Guile tells Cammy that Bison is dead. I'm half dead. What about Bison? Or dead. Fucking film. Guile can't talk in normal lines. But as they're talking, we see a computer come on that starts to apparently deliver CPR and adrenaline to Bison somehow. Apparently, you just lie in a computer and it will deliver CPR and adrenaline.
Must have had to be that Pacific computer too, surely.
Incredible. Yep. He stands up behind Guile and then shoots him with lightning. Because we're at this stage of the fucking film now. Lightning. Ultimate power. DJ has arrived at Bison's quarters because we can't stick with one thing. We've got to constantly see something else. Stealing money as Ken arrives. He was also looking for money, but finds an expensive statue. He starts to check for a monitor to find a way out, but then sees Ryu about to be jumped by Sagat and Vega. He can't warn him either because the mics aren't working. Yep. We see Ryu being attacked by Vega and they start fighting. I do like the line where Vega goes to him, where were we?
Yes. Yeah.
And Ryu punches him and says, you were losing.
Vega, where were we? You were losing.
Except, no, he wasn't.
No,
You never got to the fight.
Hadn't even started.
Hadn't even started.
No.
Guile busted in. Are we talking about the prison part?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Maybe he's right. Maybe. Bison, back to Bison, is even more powerful and can fly. He makes some explanation about some sort of electricity that powers his flying thing and all that. Sure, why not? But because this film was stupid, his boots light up.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I can't do this, Damon. Like, I'm at this point, I'm so tired of typing. I'm just like, please stop making me write things I don't want to write about. His boots light up. It's so dumb. His attack as well. So basically, his attack becomes this. Fly up, fly towards Guile, and punch him. That's it. Not very fast. Obviously, it's supposed to be like his move from the game.
Yeah.
But there's no speed to this, and I feel like Guile could just step out of the way like a fucking bull, and it'd be alright. Ryo is getting the upper hand on Vega, but Sagat joins the fray. But Ken arrives to help. And just as things look bleak, the foursome then face off. Ryo does a fireball? Maybe?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what it's a fireball. Yeah.
Do you know what you do here? Do you know how you because it has a flash, right? It's not as obvious as Liu Kang or Mortal Kombat, but it has a flash.
Yep.
But do you know how you make it so that is the case? Have him say Hadouken.
Exactly.
Hadouken, just like that.
That's the one time you could have used it.
And it would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Would have been perfectly fine.
But I mean, always with these two, the comedy is so dry with these two. I mean, you didn't see it nice, but the bit before they start fighting, or you might actually become, I don't know, for some reason, Ken decides to rip off his badge.
Yeah. Oh.
And Ryo takes off his jacket.
Yeah.
I don't understand, or the other way around.
No, you are right. Exactly that.
I just don't. Is that supposed to be another stupid comedy moment for these two?
I thought it was like, show we're not Bison people. But like, as if we don't already know that at this fucking point. Ryo manages to burn Vega's face in an incinerator, which I thought was unnecessarily mean. Like, there's no need for that.
I know, exactly.
Ken... we also get another game move here, as Ken does an uppercut. You know the uppercut they do? It is the laziest fucking uppercut you'll ever see. I swear to Christ, it's like he was moving in slow motion.
Yep.
He stands on the spot and just goes, dom, and then circles around. Like, you almost see him going... It's awful.
Like a proper one, like a proper jump, And
there's no jump. He just circles. They both win their fights and leave Vega and Sagat for dead, presumably. Yeah. Ken gives Sagat the statue on his way out, realising that he wants to be a good guy. The line he delivers, if I hadn't met you, I might have become you, is really good. If this movie was worth anything and the characters were worth anything. Like, if I was really into Ken and, like, we'd seen, like, this idea that he could be corrupted throughout the fucking movie, this would be powerful. Instead, I was just like, just take it.
Yeah, exactly.
What difference is it going to make?
Here you go, Sagat. I owe you. If I hadn't met you, I might have become you.
Guile is still getting fucked up as Bison rises up high, giving probably the film's second best series of lines with this insane speech about God from heaven and striking you down like lightning. Like, it's over the top.
Really powerful, man.
It's so over the top. And this is basically going to be his killing blow. And as he dives towards Guile, somehow manages to jump and spin kick him, and Bison goes flying back into the giant TV, which causes a big explosion, which seems to kill him.
You still refuse to accept my godhood. Keep your own god. In fact, this might be a good time to pray to him. For I beheld Satan, and he fell from heaven like lightning!
You got to do the scream.
He's got the camera up close to him as well. That seems to kill Bison. Why it seems to kill him, I don't know. But it does, and the whole place starts to blow off. Guess what? You get another fucking line. Bison, you're off the air. Fucking you suck. You fucking suck. You fucking suck. The hostages are all rescued. Hunter does his multi-slap move to Zangief, which is a good position, what looked really fucking good. It's one of the few times I went, oh, that looked really, really good. But he ends up running away when the rest sort of tell him to come, and he leaves Zangief. Zangief's angry, but then sees DJ. Coward, come back. DJ, why are you out of uniform? The enemies of peace and so on, whatever. DJ tells him, like, it's over, man, and that Bison is the baddie and stuff like that. He's like trying to explain to him. And we do get, like, so this is why Zangief's character is quite good. He's like, do you know Bison is the bad guy? And he's like, you know this, why did you work for him? Because he paid me a freaking bunch of money.
A freaking fortune. He
paid me a freaking fortune. And you get Zangief just like, fuck, gone.
You got paid?
You got paid? Like, it's very fucking funny. Yeah, very, very funny. Guile goes to save Blanca. Everyone else finds the exit. Cammy and Chun-Li get catty, weirdly bitchy to each other about pigtails. Yeah. Just like, God damn it, film, just end.
Ridiculous. I don't know why Guile's trying to save Blanca. You tried to kill him before, and you would have if Dawson hadn't stopped you. So why are you trying to save him now for?
Good point. The door begins to seal though, but Zangief arrives to hold it open. Hey, this way. DJ also finds an escape, planning to go to Jamaica, but he's grabbed by Sagat on the way out, and I guess Sagat left Vega to die?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Guile finds Blanca, but he and Dawson will be staying. Dawson's bald now.
Yeah.
Why is he bald now?
I'm guessing his
Don't
hair,
say
his hair
don't
burnt
say
up in
it.
a fire. That's the only explanation. Or chemicals. Chemicals spilt in his hair.
And didn't burn anything else.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Didn't burn anything else in his body.
Or maybe he decided how to shave it off.
Yeah, right, because he's also topless now. He's supposed to try to make him look like he looks in the game.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Those are long arms.
Yeah, that would have been funny if he started doing that as well. Yeah, like maybe have him splashed with chemicals that transform him.
Exactly, yeah, something, yeah.
But yeah, they're gonna stay. There's no, like, the whole idea is that there's no way out for them. There's no world that Blanca can live in. There's sort of the shot of them cowering in a corner, cuddling, was just like, my God, did you wreck those two characters? Absolutely wreck them. The facility is beginning to blow up. We hear a countdown. Everyone runs away. Garla stood in the laboratory as things blow up. And you're like, oh no. They all think he died in the explosion. The war is over. Bison troops are surrendering. Our heroes are watching. And then share stories about how great Guile was. That's so... Look at the acting on these people's faces. No one gives a fuck.
Nope.
You know? Awful. But then he comes out of the smoke and everyone's really happy. Yeah! Guile's alive, everybody. Of course, because he can't help it, he needs a vacation. Ken and Ryo say they will stay around to help out. And then Zangief gives him the sideways thumb, which Guile turns upwards. There was this running joke throughout the film that Zangief does a sideways thumb and that Guile turns it upwards now because he's so cool. That's Guile for you. And I'm just like, can I end now, please? We do then cut to at least one amusing moment. We see DJ stole a crate of worthless Bison dollars. And he's sitting there and Sagat's laughing and throwing them in the air. I did like that. Because I like the fact Sagat's laughing because he is like, isn't that just so apropos?
Exactly, yeah.
Finally, the movie ends. And it's Chun-Li asking Guile for an interview. But it's implied that he wants something more.
Yes.
If you wear that dress, because, you know, Guile, baddest, sexiest, best motherfucker in the world.
Of course.
You know, she's like, you know. The building behind blows up some more, and then everybody poses. Poses as the film freezes and Street Fighter comes up.
And then it ends with Chun-Li's stupid laugh.
Oh, the laugh.
Yeah.
They do a couple of like sound effects from the game in a row here.
Yeah.
Listen, you know this movie. You've seen this movie. You will have your own opinion on it. Our talk through and analysis of these scenes is as much to highlight the things that you miss, the small details that you forget. You remember the overarching story, but do you remember these details? Do you remember how slow it is at times? Do you remember how heavy it is? Will we constantly go from one set of characters to another set of characters to another set of characters to another? Even during important scenes, like the Bison fucking Guile fight is cut to pieces as we're constantly jumping to see what other people are doing.
That's the one thing everyone wanted in this movie was a Bison
You built
Guile
to it.
fight. And you could have given a 10-minute straight fight between those two. Could have. Well, no, it wouldn't have changed the movie, but it could have improved it a little bit.
It could have been at least more interesting, absolutely. All right, let's do a couple of little breakdowns here then. Best and worst character. Not actor, character.
I mean, for comedic value, it's got to be Zangief.
Yep. Okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I'd say DJ as well. Yep. Worst character.
Like him as an actor, but unfortunately, it's Guile. It's got to be.
No, the character fits because it's very much for me. The character fits. It's the actor, the character, the worst character. I'm kind of leaning towards joint Ken and Ryu.
Yeah.
Because the characters are fucking shit and they are so integral to the games.
Well, yeah. I mean, they are everyone's first choice in a game where you always pick on.
It was likely to be a lot of people's very first characters.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, right. The best and worst actors. Best Raul Jr. Obviously. Yeah, absolutely. Worst.
John Clavellana.
Yeah.
Van Damme. You know,
yeah.
I like him as an actor.
He's done some great movies. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I hope he got paid a lot for this one.
Yeah. I agree as well. It's because of so much of him. It's easy to turn around and say Kylie Minogue is terrible as Cammy. So and so is terrible at this character. Those people do not have the amount of lines, dialogue, and scenes that Jean-Claude Van Damme here has, and he's awful in it. He is absolutely terrible. The story overall, the attempt to adapt a video game, very, very difficult.
It's very hard to turn a fighting game into a video game.
Yeah.
And I think the story could have been good.
Yeah.
It could have been good, but they just done so many stupid things with it. You know.
Cut half the characters out.
Yeah.
Focus the film on this. Guile and a handful of others around him.
Easy. Doing
what they're doing, but then focus on Ken and Ryu from a different angle and detail them. That's what you do, and then eventually all end meeting up the thing, something like that.
Yep.
I don't hate this movie. That's the thing I think is really important. We've done a couple episodes of this where I've just come away going, fuck that movie.
Yep.
I said at the start, I think this is so bad it's good. I think you can watch this movie and enjoy it for how shit it can be. I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't hate it. So it's a film you could probably watch maybe once every couple of years.
Yeah.
And you might go, I'm a yeah. And you might have a little giggle at it.
That's it. You end up laughing at it more than anything else. That's what I got from it as well. And we're not just talking about the comedy moments. We're talking about just the general feel of it. My biggest problem with it is why I enjoyed it less this time round than my last time of seeing it. Was that this time round I noticed more than ever how uneven the film is. How it's like, here's one scene, here's another scene, here's another scene, here's all constantly jumping between the others, and you're like, I can't keep up. Can you just do one part, then the next, then the next?
I mean, when we done our Conquest, that was our biggest criticism.
Yeah.
Where it was constantly here, one screen here, then back to this person, then back to that person. Just stick to one area and
or at least keep it for a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, all right, here's 5 seconds of Dalcium.
Yeah.
Oh look, here's 5 seconds of Bison. Here's 5 seconds of Guile. Do you know what I mean? Instead, here's 15 seconds of Dalcium. 15 seconds. Do you know what I mean? Give me more than that. It's Street Fighter the movie. You know it. Maybe you love it. You better have a damn good reason for loving it. I would love you to tell us why you love it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts, and of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal, what else is life for?